10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Champions! Wrexham are promoted! They have their storybook ending!
You can walk through the fire. You can walk through the fire. When it's down to the wire. You can walk through the fire.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Wrexham Texan, episode number 85. My name is Jake Green. I am the Wrexham Texan. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight, today, whenever you're watching or listening to this. I'm recording this. We're live on air. All these, in case you didn't know, all these shows are live, or most of them. I can't say all of them. Most of them are live. So if you'd like to tune in live, they're generally on Wednesday nights at around 6 p.m. Eastern, which would be around 11 p.m. GMT if you're over in the UK. Today, I am in Texas, if you can't tell from the giant map behind me. It's a giant map of Texas. I'm in Texas at my parents' house. We're in town for what's called March Madness. If you aren't from the States, it is the college basketball tournament that consists of 68 teams that are vying for a national championship. And it's kind of like our big family holiday. We cater the event. We have tons of food, tons of people come over and watch all the games. And yeah, it's basically 68 teams that get just slowly dwindled down to one champion. The first 2 days, there are 32 games. We have 3 massive TVs set up in the living room that have all the games going all at the same time. It's pretty awesome. So you get to watch all the games at once rather than having to pick and choose what you want to watch. And tons of people come over. We have a big living room and people, we have couches and tables and all sorts of stuff for you to enjoy every moment of March Madness. You also can join a pool, like a tournament challenge pool, if you are interested. One of my other shows, my Thursday night show, Liberty Libations, you can go to ESPN, their tournament challenge, search Liberty Libation Nation in the groups, and that you can win $50 to the PeacefulSea Network store. And just bragging rights that you defeated me along with a couple other people who are very good basketball and sports. What's the right term? They're just obsessed. We're just obsessed with sports. That's kind of what we are. So, and you're obsessed with sports as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching or listening to this show. So, again, thank y'all for tuning in. Welcome to March Madness. All right, y'all. Yeah, so a little bit of a mixed bag. We defeated Wycombe on Saturday, which launched us 3 points ahead of them in a secure footing in second place in the league, which would have been enough to win us promotion yet again, third time in a row. However, they had a game in hand on us, and that game in hand was played last night, in which they won. They beat Rotherham 3-2. It was a heck of a game. And Wycombe came out on top and took their spot back in second place. So we're now again in third place, only by goal differential, mind you. We're tied points-wise. They just have a few more goals than us. In fact, how many more goals than us do they have? They have 7 more goals than we do. They're at plus 28. We're at plus 21. We just haven't scored as much as we did last year. Otherwise, normally in any other season before this, I feel like we would absolutely have the goal differential advantage over Wycombe. It's just this time we do not. I mean, have they scored more goals than anybody in the league? Yeah, They have. They scored more goals than anybody in the league, and that is 13 goals more than we have, which is, I mean, that's quite a few. That's a lot. So they're goal scoring machines. They do let in far. I mean, they've let in far more than we have. 6 more than we have. 12 more than Birmingham has. Have they let in? They've let in the most out of the top 6. So, you know, it's a mixed bag. They're still in second, so who cares? I guess in the end, they're still in second place and doing extremely well. They're a good squad and they're fun to watch. Like, I really enjoyed watching the game the other day. In fact, we're talking about it. Let's just go ahead and watch the highlights, and I'll comment on it along the way. I got to watch most of this game. We were doing a estate sale at our house because we're moving and selling a bunch of stuff. And so, I got distracted a couple times by people trying to buy my stuff. But overall, I mean, we're very well matched with Wycombe and vice versa. I think it was just a fantastic game. It was head to head. It was very close the entirety of the game. We had chances. They had chances. They almost got an own goal right there, which would have been a bad way to lose. But overall, it was thoroughly enjoyable. It didn't feel, oh my gosh, like, how did that one not go in? That is so wild. Hit off the post. Poor Sam Smith almost got that one past the goalie. I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Like, I just thought it was an overall very evenly matched game. I didn't think we did anything too poorly. I didn't think they did anything too poorly. I thought it was a well-fought battle. And we just came out on top in the end. Off what we're going to see is one of the sickest goals right here. How do you even do that? He hit it into the side wall from across the goal box, like all the way across from the air. No, we got to go back and watch that. How do they not play that a couple times on the highlights? That's insane. Okay, so the ball gets launched sky high over to Fletcher, who heads it backwards, and then it gets launched again sky high, and Fletcher heads it all the way over to Sam Smith on the other side, who then dumps it one-timer in the air all the way across to the side wall of the goal and in. You're not going to see many goals like that. It was incredible. And then Owen O'Connell almost gave them the freaking tying goal. Owen blew that. And I'm sure he knows that. I still have zero problems with Owen O'Connell. But this one, he should have just played it right back to Arthur Okonkwo. Instead, he tried to play it out to the side, lost it, and Okonkwo had to make a killer save. If Okonkwo has to reach his entire length in order to get a ball, then there aren't many goalies that could do that, because that dude is tall. He's got crazy long arms. But we ended up winning the game and taking second place for a very short amount of time. It was 3 days. It was just over 72 hours that we were able to hold on to second place. We really needed Wycombe to lose the game to Rotherham. I think that was one of the games where I predicted they would lose, was to Rotherham. Let's look at some stats from our game against them, because, like I said, I think it was just a really good game. I mean, look at that, 49 to 51% as far as ball possession. This says they were expected to score more goals than we were. They had 2 big chances. We had 1. Again, qualifies as a big chance. We had a few big chances, and they had a few big chances for sure. Per usual, Fletcher comes in and is the difference maker. Like, he didn't score, but he set it up. He set it up to score, and he's the one that is our difference maker at this time of the season. Okonkwo was our man of the match as far as FOTMOB goes, and I completely agree. He is what kept us in the game and got us the victory aside from Sam Smith's goal. Everybody else I thought played decently. I didn't think Rathbone played a 6.1 level. I thought he played much better than that. Rodriguez, like I said, I've just been slightly unimpressed with Rodriguez, but it is what it is. Maybe he just needs time to adjust. Yeah, like overall, it was just a solid football match. I don't know what else to say about it other than that. And we were the ones who were able to convert on one of our big chances. They did win a lot of the categories, like a lot of the categories. We didn't win very many. We did win in discipline and defense, which makes sense because that's basically what kept us in the game. But they're a fantastic squad, and whoever ends up getting second probably deserved it. Like we can do it. We can absolutely do it, and we're going to get more into that in a second. But the fact that we had to get our only goal of the match 78 minutes in, and that's what won the game for one of the sides, is just speaks to how evenly matched we are. Yeah, if we go over to the table, here's the table now. We both have 71 points. There are 9 games remaining. And like I said, y'all, last episode, I podcasted about as poorly as we played that week. So I'd said we had 7 games left at that time. We had 10. I'm an idiot. It was also because FOTMob's interface was not pulling up the last 3 games. So that may have been an internet problem. So apologies, anybody out there who thought we only had 7 games left. We now have 9 games left. And the fact that we're tied with Wycombe right now just means that we hold our own fate in our hands. Like, we are the ones that can determine whether or not we are automatically promoted. It's a stretch. Like, it's difficult for us to do that. We would have to gain a massive goal differential over the next 9 games. We need to overtake them by 7 goals. We need 7 goals. That's basically what it is. Because we beat them twice, right? Didn't we beat them twice? Let me make sure. I thought we beat them earlier in the season. Yeah, we beat them on August 10th, 3-2 at home, and then we beat them. So basically, if we can gain 7 goals on the goal differential, which is, that is a tall stinking order. We do hold our fate in our own hands, but that is a tall order to do. It would be nice to have a little help from a couple other teams. And I went over their schedule last week, and I do think it is entirely likely that we do end up in second place if we continue to play like we did on Saturday. That's the kicker. We played extremely well. And Okonkwo, like, having Okonkwo in goal makes me feel so much better about our chances of getting promoted. And at this point, can we just talk about how incredible Parky is? Parky took over the squad when we were in the 5th division. We got promoted, went through League 2, got promoted again into League 1. Had a lot of doubts during the season in League 2. Like, a lot of people were doubting Parky. And we had a drought, much like we did this year. And this season, we are yet again, we're firmly in the top 6. Like, we're firmly in playoff contention, in promotion contention. And Parky is, Parky's the one to thank for all of this. Like, yeah, it's nice to have owners and folks who are acquiring like talent from around the league and other leagues. But I think that if we had acquired half or a quarter of the players that we have this season, I still think we'd be in this position. I don't believe that the players we've acquired have added so much talent that it really just pushed us over the limit and over the line and into the position we are now. I think we already had the talent and at least had the camaraderie and the gel to get us to where we need to go at the end of this season. I don't think that adding Sam Smith and Rodriguez and a few of these other folks, I just don't think that was 100% necessary. We'll see in the end where they can take us and how far they can help us go. But man, I really just thought we had a killer squad before signing those folks. And I could be way out of line. Like Longman, James, Rodriguez, Smith, who else? Scar, right? He was a signee, right? Like there's just a bunch of people that I'm glad they're on our squad, but I don't think it was a necessity for us to sign them, and I don't think they've added a ton more than what we already had. They just added depth, in my opinion. Like if Smith or Rodriguez goes down, we have Palmer and Mullen, and like Palmer and Mullen, they have not played very much this season, and it's been unfortunate. But I don't see Smith's and Rodriguez production any more than what Mullen and Palmer could do. So I'm not sure our transfer window signees gave us a boost. I think they just gave us depth, which is great because we have had some injuries this season, and you always want good depth. That's extremely helpful. But I mean, at this point, Fletcher is the man. Like Fletcher is Fletcher and Okonkwo are the reasons that we are in the position where we are at this point in the season, and we already had them. I already felt confident that we would be promoted long before we had the entire squad that we have now. So it's going to be an interesting last 9 games, and I think Parkey will get us through. I think one of the things that people need to reconsider is their emotions about playoffs. Just in case we do have to play in the playoffs, maybe rather than feeling down in the dumps and doom and gloom and knowing that we're going to lose in the playoffs because that's just what Wrexham does, maybe have a positive attitude and let the players know that you're behind them and that that past losses in playoffs don't correlate to what's going to happen in the future and what's going to happen at the end of our season. Yeah, I think history will repeat itself if you have the exact same attitude and repeat the same mistakes as you did before. And I don't think having a doom and gloom about the playoffs and being so afraid of the playoffs is a good mindset to have before playing in the playoffs. I think that invites a self-fulfilling prophecy, basically. So maybe let's not do that. Let's look at what we've got coming up. I'm very excited. I'm so excited. All right. Our next match is, I'll add it to the stage. Next match is Stockport County in 3 days. March 22nd. What is that? That's Saturday. Duh. Saturday, 10 a.m. Stockport County. Huge match for us. Stockport is in 5th. We are in 3rd. And they're not a long way back in 5th. Stockport has 65. Charlton has 66. And we have 71. So even if we do lose, we will retain our 3rd place spot. But you have to know, you just have to assume Wycombe is going to win every single week. You have to play with the mindset that we are neck and neck with them, and to drop 3 full points would be that would be a real bummer. It'd be a real kick in the crotch. So who does Wycombe play? When's Wycombe's next game? They don't play again till the 29th against Lincoln. And Lincoln is 12th. Lincoln is 12th right now, so they should be able to handle them, although crazier things have happened. And so we will once again have a game in hand on them, because we have a game not far after that. Let's see. We have a game on the 29th. Okay, I thought we had a Tuesday game. We do not. So the next game we would play would be against Exeter on the 29th as well. And so they would once again have a game in hand on us, starting on the 29th, or starting on the 22nd, which would be, I just hate when other teams have a game in hand on us. I much prefer being the team that has a game in hand. I mean, huge match. It's number 3 versus number 5. It's a rivalry. We've been coming up with Stockport. They're the ones who knocked us out of the playoffs down in, was the National League? Yeah, National League a few years ago. And so, there's some rivalry there. There's some history. And I think since it's a home game, it gives us a massive edge. Let's go look at the preview of this game. Our head-to-head, they have 7 wins. We have 6. I think it's time we tie it up. They won the last one on November 16th. That was this season. And we won the one before that. They won the one before that. We won the one before that. And then that pattern breaks right there. One of those was FA Trophy. But either way, I think we are evenly matched teams, and I think it's time to even the score. So I think we end up winning this game. Let's see. Their last 5, they've won twice, drawn twice, and lost once. We have obviously won 3 times, lost once, tied once. So we're in a little bit more of a roll than they are, just by 1 game. Look, it's a home game. Everybody knows most teams play much better at home. We are definitely one of those teams that play a lot better at home, and it makes sense. I'm thinking 2-0. We beat Stockport soundly. I think beating Wycombe gave us the proper mindset, proper motivation to finish out the season. I think if we had lost to Wycombe, I think we could have hit a downward spiral, because we had lost to Reading right before that. If we had lost those 2 right in a row, I think that could have led to some very dangerous territory. However, we didn't. We pulled through. I think we're out of, like I said last week, we're out of our winter slump. I think we're now past it and moving on. I think we're going to win. What did I say last week? I got the number of games wrong, but I think we win 6 out of our last 9, and I think we end up getting promoted automatically. So I think Stockport will be one of those. I think we win 2-0. I think Fletcher comes in, scores a goal, and I think Elliot Lee scores a goal. That's my prediction. Tell me what y'all think. All right, y'all. It's a little bit shorter of an episode today. Actually, no, it's not. 25 minutes. That's pretty average. So thank y'all for tuning in. It's a huge weekend for me as far as family stuff. Everybody's in the other room. We're talking basketball. We're in there for the next 4 days. For the next 96 plus hours, we're going to be in that room watching basketball. I will be watching the Wrexham game before basketball starts on Saturday. So don't you worry about that. Other than that, go join our bracket pool if you want to try to win $50 to the PeacefulSea Network store. It costs you nothing to enter. So go to ESPN.com, create a bracket, and join Liberty Libation Nation on ESPN's Tournament Challenge. You can go follow that show on X if you would like. It's Liberty Libation, at Liberty Libation. And I've made some posts, so you can go click on that. And yeah, I think that'll do it for tonight, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Come back next week. I'm actually going to have a guest. My brother's coming back on to talk about West Ham season. He's a West Ham supporter, huge West Ham supporter. And yeah, we're going to record an episode and put it out. It'll be a pre-recorded episode. It will not be live. So tune in next week for that interview. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you there. All right, y'all. Up the town.
Search my soul with all your heart, you're gonna see it, you're gonna see it. And if you knock my soul with all your strength, you're gonna find it, you're gonna find it.